Hello everyone, welcome to another live stream for kids. I'm so excited because I've got one of my good friends from the author, illustrator, kids book world joining us today. It's going to be a lot of fun, Mick Elliott. So I hope you've got your pens and pencils ready. Mums and dads, if you're watching this, please make sure you grab your pens and pencils, give them to your kids, sit them down. They're going to learn how to do some fantastic drawings. We've got a few fun games to play as well. So it's time for us to get started in today's author hangout. So without further ado, let's start the live stream. Yes, welcome to the author hangout. I am Adrian Beck, and today I am joined by a very good friend of mine. His name is Mick Elliott, and Mick Elliott has written a number of books. The Turners was the first series that he wrote, but he has also written an amazing follow-up series called Squidge Dibbly. Squidge Dibbly started by destroying the school, then he destroyed the galaxy, and now he's just going to destroy everything. So let's meet Mick Elliott and find out what's left for Squidge to destroy, Mick.
Well, how are you going, Adrian?
I'm good. Good to see you. So we can see the Squidge Dibbly books behind you. So yes, Squidge destroyed the school. Talk us through his journey.
Well, Squidge is a very cool, very unusual character. He's a kid who basically his body changes depending upon what happens around him. So if somebody shouts at him, like a teacher shouts at him really loudly, he just involuntarily burps right back at them. not just like an everyday burp, but like a really big, long turbocharged burp. And if someone tries to shove him or push him over, his body inflates up into a great big balloon-sized ball and bounces around. If he gets submerged in water, his body inflates to the size of a blue whale. He's a kid who accidentally brings chaos no matter where he goes, but he can't help it. Yeah. He's not a bad kid. These things just happen all around him. So
yeah, I love it. I've got my Squidge t-shirt on, actually, in tribute to Squidge today.
So it's very Squidgy.
Squidge, he sort of comes to the class, and the class find out that he's here. I've got some wonderful music being played in the background by my helpers. I'm not sure if that's coming through, but it's really setting the mood for me.
Louder.
Yeah, have you got that? I'm not sure if it's as amazing as it could be. But anyway, Squidge
like a house
comes
band.
to the school, and he sort of causes havoc from the word go, really, doesn't he?
He does, but even though the books are all called Squidge Destroys Something, he's actually not deliberately causing the chaos that he brings. And each book is actually about how, kind of in an accidental way, Squidge makes things better. So in the first book, Squidge Dibbly destroys the school. The book's actually about the fact that the school has this terrible teacher who just wants to run the school in the most strict, awful way. And Squidge comes in and he changes the school. And in the second book, Squidge Dibbly destroys the galaxy. Well, it's about the kids getting lost in space, and Squidge manages through his special qualities get them back. Now in the latest book, Squidge Dibbly destroys everything. Well, something really terrible is going to be happening in that book, and Squidge is going to hopefully save the day.
I love it. Now, Mick, just to tell the kids who are watching, who have got their pens and pencils ready, so we're going to be able to draw Squidge very soon,
good.
Which is pretty exciting. Yes. Plus, we've got some challenges. We've got some kids that have sent in some challenges, some Mr. Squiggle-like challenges for you, which is awesome. But just to tell them a little bit about you, you actually work in TV. Like, we have that in common. I've worked in TV for many years, and you work in TV as well. How did you get into that, and what exactly do you do in TV?
Oh, well, I think we actually have quite similar sort of jobs in that I worked in kids TV for really since the age of the dinosaurs, back when there were only dinosaurs watching. But I worked at Nickelodeon, the kids TV channel Nickelodeon for many years.
Well, you did the sliming. Is that?
Yeah, we did. That's right. We used to do things like the Kids' Choice Awards and Slime Cup and so on. And my job on those shows was to work as a producer and as a writer. So unlike a book, I mean, a TV show usually has like anywhere from 50 to 100 people working on it. So I was one part of that big group of people, all helping just to make really, really fun, funny, silly shows. So I did that for a very long time and learned lots of stuff there and worked on lots of great shows and met lots of really interesting people. And more recently, I'm working at the ABC on a new show there, which is also very, very exciting. But basically, as a producer, I didn't, when I started, I didn't know what a producer did. I guess they produce things.
Yeah.
But it was only through working at those TV channels that I got a sense of, okay, so a producer, they help come up with an idea. They try to make the idea as good as they can be, and then they work out how are we going to make this idea happen as a great TV show.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it is tricky that, what does a producer do? I took my daughters into to work on a TV show not so long ago. And at the end of the day, they said to me, Daddy, your job seems to be just walking around, making sure everyone else is doing their job. I said, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
It's harsh, but true. And it would look like that.
Yeah, that's right. But anyway, we'll move on, Mick, because I know you've taken all that creativity that you use behind the scenes in TV and you've turned it into an incredible book writing career. And as I said before, you've got the Turners and now you've got Squidge Dibley. So the difference with Squidge Dibley is that you've actually illustrated that as well as written it. Was that a bit of a steep learning curve for you, or have you always been a drawer, or how did that work?
I've always loved to draw. And in fact, at school, I was always doodling in the margins of my books. I mean, I was actually a pretty good kid at school. I didn't muck up too much, but I just always used to love to draw. And the times that I did get in trouble at school were usually for doing drawings that I really shouldn't have been doing, either because I should have been doing maths or history or science, or because they were of my teachers. And in fact, the worst, I probably shouldn't tell everyone this, but the worst trouble, all right, putting it out there.
Okay.
The worst trouble I ever got into at school, I was in high school, I was in about year 9, and I thought it would be hilarious to draw a whole lot of drawings, little cartoony drawings of the teachers at the school. But the problem was, at the time, I wasn't very good at drawing clothes.
Oh.
So I just didn't bother. And
So what you're telling me is you drew a whole bunch of pictures of the teachers in the nude. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And I actually drew them in my friend's diary, and he, it was meant to be just a private collection of drawings. He left the diary open on his desk during class, and the teacher who was teaching was actually like the disciplinarian, the head of the year, and he strangely wasn't that impressed with the pictures. He really thought that they were pretty disgusting, actually.
Weird, that.
Which I thought was unfair. Yeah, I mean, that's not really fair to the teachers. I thought they were pretty good drawings.
Yeah, strange. I can't understand it myself.
What is great though is that
you go.
That's right. Is that from that very dark moment in my school life, I've actually managed to turn that real love that I have for drawing funny pictures into the Squidge Dibley series, and I've had so much fun drawing the books for the series, because me and my kids, we love books like Captain Underpants and Dogman and the Wimpy Kid books and Bad Guys and all those amazing, wonderful books. So I really wanted to draw a series that would have that same sort of nice balance of funny drawings and hopefully funny stories as well.
Yeah, I love it. Fantastic. Well, fear not, kids and parents who might also be listening. There'll be no sort of nude teacher work from here on in. When we do our drawing tutorials, it's all above board. And we're going to actually get straight into it. Mick, are you ready to draw?
Look, I think so. I've got I should just say, man, I'm going to be drawing straight on the screen here. So what you're going to see is the process. You're going to see the process completely unmapped. So, if you go anywhere.
Okay, so we're going to see exactly how Mick does it. And in this first segment, I need my helper to come and show the special segment title whilst I do the excellent theme song. It's called Ready, Set, Draw. Yeah. Okay. It changes every day, remarkably.
It's good.
It's good. Good one. Okay, so Ready, Set, Draw. So this is inspired by a show that I used to watch, and I'm sure you probably watched it too, Mick. I've got my helpers all creeping in around me here, so thank you, helper. Okay. I've got a timer that's been handed to me.
Wow.
So I appreciate that. Yes.
They're like Oompa Loompas.
They're like little producers. And you can squeak that when it's time is up. Yes. Okay. You come in here and you get ready to squeak, okay?
Oh.
All right. So what we're going to do in this is we're inspired by Mr. Squiggle, a show we used to watch when we were kids. And we've got some kids, some very awesome kids have sent in some squiggles for you to squiggle on, Mick.
Okay.
So we're going to give you 30 seconds per squiggles. And we want you to turn it into a masterpiece. Are you up for it? Do you think you can do this?
Yes, maybe, no, and yes.
Okay, I like it. We're going to give you 30 seconds each picture.
Okay.
I'm going to share the picture with you, and
Okay.
I'll get you to draw on the screen. Okay, so
All
I'm
right.
just setting that up.
Okay.
So here we go.
Okay. Okay.
So,
No, wait a minute. Let me see here. I need to. What have I got here? All right.
So our first picture here is from a young budding artist named Fred, and he's drawn sort of like
hello,
a squiggle on the side, a little dot in the
Yes.
middle, and then sort of half a triangle. Are you seeing that there, Mick?
I am seeing it, and I'm just trying to see how I can draw on it. Let me do a little test here. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's good. I'm going to take that off.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to give you 30 seconds to turn that into something. On your marks, get set, go.
Okay.
We are away.
Well, I'm seeing like a nose here, so I'm going to make that a nose. I might make that a big smile.
Oh yeah,
and I'm going to give this guy. Here we go. I'm going to give him some more hair down here. He's got a lot of hair on the side, but he doesn't have any hair on top. But that's okay because you can be however you want to be in life. It doesn't matter whether you
however you want to be in life. That's good advice.
That's a bit of a dodgy tooth, so I'm going to undo that. No, I'm actually going to leave that tooth because he's got bad tooth decay. This person hasn't been brushing his teeth. And then I'm going to give him a little body here.
We've got 5 seconds.
Oh, wait. Well, he's going to have
2, 1, and time's up.
How did I go? Well, some slightly dodgy arms. He's missing a hand and an elbow, but not too bad.
No, I think you went well. I think it actually reminds me of Doc from Back to the Future.
Oh, I can see that. Yes, I can see that.
I'm sure that's what you're going for. So I thank you for I've got lots of instant feedback coming from my crew here, which is awesome. Now, Mick, very good. I'm sure Fred is thrilled with that picture. That might be Fred in the future. Who knows? But
it could be.
we don't know at this stage, but time will tell. Okay, let's have a look at our second of two.
Let's do this
for our ready set draw. And this next one comes from Oscar. Now, Oscar is also an awesome young drawing fan and great reader. Yeah.
Okay.
And he's given us a bit of a half triangle, an upside down smile, and that's almost like a snake or something there. So
it is, isn't it? It is. But okay. All right. I'm going to see what I can do with this.
All right. Here we go. 30 seconds starts. Okay. Now.
Okay. Well, I love to draw faces, so I'm going to make this like a weird eye. So he's got like teardrop eyes here.
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
Like oh yes.
And then I'm going to do some little nostrils, and this is actually going to be a mouth with a tongue coming out. And then I'm going to draw an ear around here. Oh boy.
I like it.
An ear around here. And
10 seconds.
Oh, only 10 seconds left. I'm going to give him some whiskers.
Oh,
some hair at the side here.
I like it.
And maybe some freckles.
3 seconds.
And okay, there we go.
Time's up. Wow.
That could be the greatest thing I've ever drawn.
That is amazing, Mick. I don't know whether that's a glimpse at another glimpse at Oscar in the future, or whether that's a glimpse at yourself in the future, or what you're channeling there, but that's amazing.
It probably is a glimpse of my career after people see these drawings.
No, not at all. Now we have got, I don't know if you can hear the chicken. The chicken keeps being sounded in the background. So
Adrian, I think you need to get that chicken to a vet. It sounds very unwell.
Could I show Mick the chicken? Because the chicken sounds, if you could hand me the chicken there, special helper. No, the chicken is not being handed to me.
That's all right. That's all right.
Oh, here it comes. There's the chicken. So you can see why perhaps it's not feeling too good. Anyway, enough of the chicken.
Not at all. All right.
Because now you are warmed up. Your fingers are warmed up. In fact, I might take the chicken because that might be the safest option. Now your fingers are warmed up. It's time for you to actually show us some of your awesome drawing. And obviously you illustrated the whole Squidge Dibbly. Can you do awesome for us today?
Well, yes, I can try.
Awesome. Yes. Love it. All right. So you're going to show the kids at home. Now, kids at home, I want you to grab your pens and pencils and your pieces of paper, because this part of the show, the live stream today, is all about you. You're going to learn how to draw Squidge Dibbly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a blank canvas, my friend.
Oh, very good.
I'll give you here. And what we'll get you to do is we'll get you to use this blank canvas however you see fit. And that is hopefully to draw a version of Squidge Dibbly for all the kids at home. And
lovely.
I might actually draw along with you too, because
Oh, that would be amazing.
I'd like to draw a version of Squidge. So take it away when you're ready, Mick, and kids at home, follow along. I'm sure there's an easy process to get Squidge happening.
Yes, there is indeed. And so with Squidge, the first thing you want to do when you start is actually just to draw a square. So here we go. We're just going to draw a square on screen.
Yep.
Everyone can draw a square. A little square. Now, the thing is, it doesn't matter if it's a little bit wonky, because even the very best artists in the world, of which I'm not one, their drawings are usually a little bit wonky. So we're going to draw 2 squares right next to each other.
Okay.
Now, I've chosen to use quite a thick sort of texture type line here. You can, but you can draw whatever you want. So hopefully you've got 2 squares next to each other.
2 squares next to each other. Good so far.
And you're going to join those squares like that. And so far we've got Squidge's glasses.
Love it.
Now what you're going to want to do, once you've got those glasses, what you're going to want to do is get ready to draw some triangles, because Squidge's hair is made up of lots of triangles. So,
okay, love it.
Starting from what I'll say is like the right-hand square, we're going to put our pens in the middle of the top of that square and go upwards like this, and draw a nice curve of a triangle. Yep. Yeah, and then we're going to bring that triangle. It's like a shark's fin. We're going to bring that back down again, but not all the way. We're going to bring that to about there.
All right. Yeah.
You can see it. I mean, you're going, oh, that just disappeared. That's very strange. All right, back again. There we go. Okay, so we've drawn. We're going to draw 3 more of those, but we're going to draw them to the side. We're going to connect them to that line that's already there. So here goes.
Okay. So it's sort of doing an opera house.
And back again. That's exactly what Squidge's head is inspired by.
Is that right?
It's inspired by the Sydney Opera House. You can see I'm just drawing. It's like 2 lines of a triangle on its side, and then all the way back to his glasses. Okay. So now you've got really what looks like a giant pair of Squidge's glasses next to the Sydney Opera House.
Yeah, you do.
So far, so we've got half of his head drawn, and I think we're looking not too bad. So we better give him the second half of his face, the bottom half. Okay. So now we want to go underneath that right-hand square of his glasses. And we're going to draw another little line, but a much smaller one like this. Kind of like that. Okay, so it curves back sort of thing. That's right. It curves back in towards what would be his chin, basically. Yeah, okay. And then we want to do another one that's going to come from the other square, and that's going to be the rest of his face. Okay. Here we go. Basically like that. So he's almost got like a sort of a turnip, a turnip chin. A little bit, yeah. Yeah. That's right. So he's not looking too bad so far, but the problem is he can't hear, he can't smell, he can't talk, and he can't speak. So we better actually start giving him some of these very important features. So I like to begin next by giving him his ears, and his ears are just two little semicircles that just sit under his face like that. 1. Oh, right. And so they're 2. Quite low. They are quite low, but Squidge is a very special kid. He just is the way he is. He is the way he is. All right, so why don't we get into, I think his nose next. His nose is just going to sit underneath the little line that connects his glasses there. Oh, and it basically is, it's another half circle, but it's going to go up and down like that. Oh, okay, so it's an upside down smile sort of thing. Exactly. Okay. Exactly it. So he's good. He can hear, he can smell. Let's let him talk now. And I like to do, he's a pretty cheeky kid, Squidge. So starting over his left-hand ear, as we're looking at him, his left-hand ear, we're just going to do a little smirk, which is like a little curve, just like that. Oh, okay. So a little curve under his, well, next to his left-hand ear. Okay. That's right. Cool. Yeah. Cheeky. Think cheeky, fantastic. Kids. Think cheeky. Just a little half smile there. Yeah. Okay. So all we need to do now is actually let him be able to see us. So I like to have Squidge looking straight at us. And when you're drawing a cartoon character, if you draw the dots right in the middle of whether it's the circles for their eyes or the squares for his glasses, that means they'll be looking straight at you. So we're going to draw 2 dots. Yeah. That's a good tip, kids. So if you want your characters to look straight at you, do the dots right in the middle, yeah? That's it, right in the middle of either the circle for their eyes or the square. So we're going to draw a dot in each, right. It doesn't matter if it's slightly off. No. There we go. Awesome. There he is. Now he's looking straight at us. Yeah. Love it. Fantastic. Okay, so we've got his head done, and that's fantastic. But of course, he needs a body to get around somewhere. So we're going to give him his body, and Squidge is a very stretchy kid. So we're going to give him a really long body, some really nice long arms. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually start those arms underneath his ear on the left there. So we're going to put our pens really just against the line of his chin, just below his ear. We're going to draw a curved line that goes like that. Comes out quite a long way.
Yep.
So we've got one, and then we're going to draw another one, but it's not quite going to connect to his chin, this one. And I think I actually just accidentally undid that line. Oh no, there it is, back again. Okay, so we're going to draw another one now, starting not quite connecting with his chin this time. And
this is on the other side.
Oh, right.
Okay, that's going to be an arm, right?
That's it. It will be. All will be revealed.
I can't wait.
Now, what I've done, I actually need that outside line, that first one I drew. I need to make that just a little bit longer because this arm is actually going to be, that's his elbow right there. That far length, that line is actually his elbow. And he is going to have his hand sitting on his hip. So we're going to give him the rest of his arm now. So I'm going to start with one line that's going to go across like that.
Okay.
And another line just above it like that.
Great. Okay. So kids at home, it might be looking a little bit odd. What you've got in front of you might be looking a little bit odd at the moment, but trust Mick. He's done this before, and he's got a plan.
All will be revealed. That's right. And we're more than halfway there right now. So
okay.
Like I said at the start, it does not matter if your picture looks a little bit wonky, because all of my pictures look a little bit wonky at the start, and you just fix them up as you go. So we are about to draw the hardest thing that there is to draw, and that is hands. You could ask the most famous artists in the world, and they will tell you that hands are the hardest thing to draw.
Okay.
And I think I spent more time drawing hands than I did anything else in the entire Squidge Dibbly books. So I had to rub them out again and again. But here we go. Okay. We're going to go to the end of that arm. We're going to draw one line. So now he's got a sleeve.
Yep.
And we're going to draw basically what's going to look like a couple of sausages.
Okay.
We go one sausage. One sausage.
You're making me hungry, Mick.
Is there?
Yep.
Oh yeah, me too. Me too.
Yep.
Gonna need some lunch after this.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got one little sausage there. I don't know if that's appearing on it's disappeared off my screen. There it is. And we're going to draw two more, 1 and 2.
Great.
Like that.
So it's almost 3 sausages is what we're after.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got to say those are very wonky hands, but
no, we get the idea.
Okay. So now
it's like you said, Mick. You know, it's not always going to be perfect first go, and that's the same with kids that are drawing at home. They have to, refine it and have a few goes at it, rub a few things out, and
exactly,
and fix it up as you go.
Exactly. So we don't want to close that hand off yet. We can see he's sort of missing a thumb, but we're going to draw the thumb in a minute. Because what we want to do, we want to go back up now to his armpit, put our pen up there, and we're going to connect the line of his armpit down to the line of his finger there, just like this. Here we go.
Ah, right. Okay. Yep.
There we go. And then after that, I'm actually going to draw in his thumb, because his thumb's actually sitting behind his body. So we can't see the front of it. Just going to clean up that little edge there.
That's how he looks like he's got his hand on his hips.
That's right.
Awesome.
So now normally I would go in, I'd clean up those hand lines a little bit, but it doesn't matter if they're a little bit wonky right now, because we want to get onto. We basically want to do the same thing with his other hand. Now I could choose to put his other hand on his hip, but you know what? I reckon for everyone out there watching, we want to have Squidge waving at them. So we're going to draw his other arm, and we're going to start like we did before, underneath his ear, and we're going to draw a line that sort of goes across rather than down. So probably like this. There we go.
Okay.
A bit thick, pressed a bit hard that time, but that doesn't matter.
It's all right.
And then same thing underneath from his armpit. Oh, you can see I'm pressing really hard on this one. That's why his arms are thicker. That's all good. It's just getting used to different pens.
He's been working out on that side of his body.
Definitely been doing a lot of left upper body work lately, being stuck at home. Okay, let's finish off that arm. So we just want to draw another line so that his elbow goes up to his wrist, and another line there.
Great. So he's got particularly long arms, old Squidge, isn't he?
Because he's a very stretchy kid, his body can actually stretch. So I like to give him really long arms. And now we're going to just close off that line at the top so that he's got a sleeve.
Yep.
And then we're going to have him waving. So we're going to go thumb, finger, finger, and another finger. And now he's waving at us. Yeah, you can definitely see the strength work he's been doing on that hand. Look at the size of it.
You can. It's
All
paying
right.
dividends, isn't it?
Yes. Now we are on what you would call the home straight if this was a marathon. So now we want to go up to his armpit there on the right hand side of your screen, and we're going to draw a line that goes all the way down past his hand. Watch this, all the way down like that.
Okay. Sort of a
And then we're
curvy
going
line.
to big. Deliberately gave Squidge very small feet. I just thought that'd be funny if he had very small feet, because then it makes the rest of his body look much bigger.
Yep.
So he's got one foot there, and then I'm going to draw another foot on the other side in just a moment. I'm going to connect like that. Another foot, and his feet really are just little rectangles. They're very simple. And then we're going to draw the final line that will connect his whole body together. We're almost done. After that, we'll just do a tiny little bit of shading, and then we'll be good.
Great.
Okay, so we're going to sit our pens underneath the arm that's on his hip, and we're going to join that up to his shoe down there.
Love it.
Now, right now, it looks like he's wearing a whole body jumpsuit. So we want to give him some clothes. So we're just underneath his hand on his hip. We're going to draw the line of his pants, bottom of his shorts.
Love it.
And a color in his shoes, like that. Color in his shoes, color in his shorts. And then, most important thing, because Squidge just loves the shirt that you're wearing today, Adrian. So we are going to give him his trademark stripes. Now, I like to turn the page on its side to draw his stripes. And I always like to start under his chin.
Yep.
And I usually make the lines of his stripes a little bit thinner. So I'm not going to press too hard. I can draw lots of lines all the way down his tummy, making sure, of course, not to go over the top of his hand. And it doesn't matter if you go out of the lines a little bit. That doesn't matter. And then all the way along his sleeves as well, little lines that follow. And we're almost done. And finally, the lines that will be on his other sleeve as well.
Love it. He's got good style, Squidge, hasn't he?
Well, he just loves his stripy shirt, Squidge. It's his trademark, you might say. And that is a slightly wonky, but nonetheless, very, very true drawing of Squidge Dibley.
Love it. Thank you very much.
I better sign it. Here we go. Mick, Elliott. There you go.
Awesome. Kids at home, I hope you've been able to follow along and you've drawn your own version of Squidge. We'd love to see them too. So if you can, post them in the comments. We'd love to see them after you've finished them off. But that is Squidge Dibley. How cool is that? That's awesome. What I might do, actually, Mick, thank you for doing that. What I might do is show my version too, because it's just some of my best work here. So
I know you've won many art prizes, Adrian. I know you actually won.
I have.
You won the Archibald a few years back, didn't you?
I did.
Quite intimidated. Okay, here we go. Whoa!
Oh,
that's great.
Is it?
That is great.
So that's my Squidge, thank you. I think that's more of a comment on your excellent tutorial than it is on perhaps what my capabilities are. But kids at home, I wonder how you went with that, and hopefully you went really well, because that was a lot of fun.
It was great.
Yes, I've just got to help it letting me know that they're a kid at home as well, which they really are. So it's good to know.
We're all kids at home, really, aren't we?
Exactly.
Right now.
We
don't know what we're doing.
Thank you so much for that, Mick. So we're going to move on to our next bit, and this is where we give kids at home something to work on in the afternoon. It's a segment that we call helpers. It's a segment we call Story Starters. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. It's good. Sometimes that Story Starters logo stays up there a long time, so it's nice when it's quite brief. Okay. So, Story Starters, what I thought we would do today, because Squidge, the funny thing about your book and my book, Derek Dool, Super Cool, is that they're both sort of based on kids at schools. Oh, thank you very much. Both are based on kids at schools, and they both have, not only are they slightly disruptive in their own ways, but they both have a vice principal who is kind of pretty, well, my vice principal Vern in Derek Dool, pretty evil. How about your vice principal? What's he like?
Yes. Well, Squidge and his year 6 class, they have to deal with a vice principal called Vice Principal Hoovsley. And I tried to think back to all of the things that I really hated about the horrible teachers I had at school. I had so many great teachers, but I had some really awful teachers. So Vice Principal Hoovsley, that you can see there on the left, he is like a combination of everything that was bad. But tell me about your principal. Your vice principal. He just
My
looks
principal,
villainous.
and you can just see him behind his desk. He's sort of a frustrated actor. So you can see all the pictures behind him where he has been in plays, and you can see that he's got sort of like the skull from Shakespeare behind him, and he signed all his own work as well. He signed all those photos for himself. So he's a bit of a frustrated actor who has sort of segued his way into being a vice principal. And he'd love to get back up onto the stage at some point, but it's just not happening at the moment. But yeah, he's got a terrible temper, and he's got it in for Derek Dool. So I thought it was kind of fun that we both got evil principals in our story.
Yes.
So I thought
I was worried that Skull might belong to a student, but
maybe it does. I don't know. Maybe that's a story for another time. But I thought it might be fun, so I'm just setting up the iPad here, because it might be fun for us to come up with a terrible teacher character.
Ah, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I might sketch it, and you'll see that my sketching is pretty rudimentary, but you'll get the idea. And then
I've seen some good stuff.
Perhaps the kids at home might be able to use this as a story starter.
I love it.
They might be able to do a short story about a terrible teacher. So,
yes.
For example, okay, there we're all working. So what should we start with, Mick? Have you got some suggestions for a terrible teacher? Anything from Hoovsley that we should incorporate?
Yeah. Well, I think that the first thing is that they just should look really angry all the time. And the best way to do that is to give them eyebrows that slant downwards towards their nose. So I think if we give them some really, some really angry looking eyes. And then if we give them like really, that's good. Yeah. So this is great. I might get you to illustrate my next book. That's amazing. And then that's so already you can see that this teacher looks really angry. And I think the next thing probably should be, now that they've got those nice, evil-looking, angry eyes, I think maybe this teacher can really sniff out trouble. They can just sniff out if anything is going wrong or bad or anyone's up to mischief. So let's give them a massive nose, like a really big nose.
All right. How's that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love that. It's like a crocodile nose. That is on dirty nostrils. Amazing.
Yep. We'll just make it obvious that that's a nostril there. Yep.
Yes. Okay. Now I think fangs. I think this teacher should also just have really bad teeth. So maybe like some fangs that are coming out of that. Wow. So they're sort of so far looking like a bit like a crocodile, aren't they? Yeah. Amazing.
He is looking a bit like. In fact, why don't we give him the traditional crocodile sort of nostril right at the end of the nose?
Oh, yes, the double nostril I think he needs, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, right. That's fantastic. And then what do you think? He's got the big fangs.
Does he have a bit of a comb over? Did I note that before?
He does. And look, I think everyone should have whatever hairstyle they want. But in Hoovsley's case, he does only have 3 hairs that he combs over his head. Oh, I love that. It's a little bit Squidward, actually. That's fantastic.
It is a bit unintentionally. Yes.
Yes. And then maybe this teacher, as well as being able to sniff out anything that's going on amongst the students, maybe he has really big ears, maybe ears that can hear any kid that whispers anything about them.
Like BFG style ears.
Yeah, fantastic.
Love it. Yeah. All right. They are ears.
Amazing.
Yep.
They look great. Okay, fantastic. And then, some bit of hair at the back there.
Yeah. And then what's his chin like? Has he got a pointy chin, or would you say he's probably got a fairly a double chin? Or what would you like to give him there, Mick, our terrible teacher?
Well, I think he should probably have a big chin, because he's a teacher who shouts a lot. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Something like that.
Oh yes. Yeah. This guy looks horrible now. And maybe some more fantastic, some more fangs.
Yep.
So he is looking awful. I mean, wow, he looks like you're out of Roald Dahl so far.
He
I think
does.
we should be finishing this call right now and getting straight onto our publishers and
Let's
getting a
give him
3-book
I
deal,
want
I
to give him
think.
some squidge-like long arms. Okay.
Very nice.
Yep. And then what I like about Vice Principal Vern in Derek Dool is he's got sort of like a pear-shaped body, right?
Oh, nice. Yes. From sitting behind his desk all day, planning
Yeah.
evil.
That's right, exactly. So we'll give him a pear-shaped body. And what I might do is I'll give myself a bit of extra room down the bottom here, and I'll just quickly change it up a touch. Okay, so
Very
there
nice.
we go. And so we need some legs. What do you think about legs and clothes for our terrible teacher here, Mick?
Well, I think this teacher is a little bit eccentric. So I think the
Yes.
first thing is he probably should have a bow tie. I think for some weird reason he thinks that a bow tie will make him seem more important. So a little bow tie under there. That's fantastic. And then, but I also think he should have high pants. I think his pants, the line of his pants should be almost like directly underneath that bow tie. Yeah, fantastic. He's a bit of a Harry high pants, this guy. And then, oh, that's amazing.
And then
Almost looks like a nappy, doesn't it? It's fantastic. I think really big shoes, because he likes to stomp around the school, this guy. So really big shoes. Oh, that's good. So you can always hear him stomping his way down the hallway.
Yes. Okay. And I reckon he's got, I reckon he's just to get that squidge feel back in, he's got the stripy arms there.
Oh, yes.
And you know what, Vern sometimes likes to appear with a theatrical cape. So maybe if we
nice.
we give our new creation a bit of a cape in the background. There we go. We've got a terrible teacher. We just need a name for our terrible teacher.
Well, I think those fangs really probably suggest that maybe he should be named Principal Fangsworth.
Fangsworth. I love it. Okay. Let me write that there. Fangsworth. Look out for Fangsworth, okay? So kids, have a good look at Fangsworth there. And I apologize for the, look, as Mick said, you know, it's a first draft and you can refine all your first drafts and turn them into something amazing. But we have combined our two vice principal evil characters there and thrown in a few other ideas, and we've come up with Fangsworth. So as a story starter for today, this afternoon, if you can, why not write a short story about Fangsworth? We'd love to hear what Fangsworth gets up to. I'm sure it's nothing good by the looks of him. Thanks for that, Mick. All right, now before we let you go, I want to do a segment that I call, and I need a little bit of help for my last segment of the day. It's a segment called, it's coming. It's a segment called Bottom Busters. Yeah. Okay. So what we thought we'd do here with Boredom Busters, I thought we'd, thank you, Boredom Busters. That's plenty. I think they've got the idea. Beautiful. Okay. There's a little bit of a disagreement behind the scenes with our production staff.
Like any TV show.
That'll sort of subside. Okay, so kids, you've done an awesome job. You've got the story starter, Fangsworth. You've got how to draw squidge. And last of all, if you're really looking to bust some boredom, Mick, you've got an awesome idea, I believe, for how to keep things kind of fun and interesting.
I do, because obviously right now everybody's stuck at home, and you've probably watched all the TV shows you want to watch. You've finished with Netflix. You've watched every single YouTube video that there is, and you've also read every single book that you've got. You've read all your amazing Roald Dahls. You've read all your Dogmans. You've read all of your Adrian Beck books. Hopefully you've read all your Mick Elliott books. You've literally got nothing left to read.
You've read just the best books that you could find by the sounds of it.
You've read all of them. And so you're looking at your bookshelf going, I've got nothing left to read. So then you look at your mum and dad's bookshelf and go, maybe I'll read one of their books. But you open it up and you go, this book's a bit old and boring. So the Boredom Buster today,
yes,
I'm going to give you guys a writing hack. What I want you to do is just go and find the most old, dusty-looking book that you can find on your mum and dad's bookshelf. Yep. Now, I actually just grabbed this one. I mean, actually, this is Jane Austen. I actually love Jane Austen. She's great. But when you guys open up a Jane Austen, you might sort of go, these words all look a little bit, hard, and you might just find it a little bit boring because you want to read a book like books, one of those classics. And what we're going to do is we're going to randomly use the word fart. I'm just going to substitute the word fart randomly into every sentence of this is Jane Austen's Persuasion. I do love Jane Austen, so please don't be writing nasty comments on Adrian's comments.
Are you saying that she doesn't use the word fart that often, Mick? Is that fair to say?
Well, look, I studied Jane Austen at school and at university, and I can say categorically the word fart does not come up once in her entire oeuvre of literature.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lost opportunity.
It is
for Miss Austen. I think she could have explored. Anyway, so what I thought I might do, I'm just going to randomly open up to chapter 15, and we're just going to drop the word fart into Jane Austen, and you are going to see how great this is at not only busting boredom, but creating a whole amazing new genre of literature. I'm just going to put my glasses on. So I can read.
So kids at home, you'll get to see this example, and then just pull out any old book off the shelf, drop in fart. You've got a whole, you could kill hours. It'd be amazing.
Yes. And I mean, you really need to get the word fart in every sentence, but you could use other words as well. We're going to choose fart today. So here we go. A random reading, Jane Austen, with the word fart added in. So here we go. Sir Walter had taken a very good fart in Camden Place, a lofty, dignified fart, such as becomes a man of consequence. And both he and Elizabeth farted there, much to their satisfaction, and entered it with a sinking heart, anticipating a fart of many months, and anxiously saying to herself, "Oh, when shall I fart again?" A degree of unexpected cordiality, however, in the welcome she received did her good. Her father and sister were glad to hear her fart. And you can go on. I mean, I think you'd have to agree that we've really taken Jane Austen to a whole new level there. So just grab any book off your mum and dad's shelf. It could be the word fart. It could be poop. It could be vomit. It could be snot. It could be earwax. Just drop it in there, and you will create a whole new amazing work of literature. And my apologies to all Jane Austen fans out there.
I think that is a brilliant boredom buster. I think kids all afternoon, just volunteer to read out a passage for your parents. They will never tire of this sort of stuff. So yeah, just throw in, as Mick said, fart, whatever you want to throw in, bum, brilliant. Just all quality literature can be taken up that one notch by changing that one word, I reckon.
Just a little notch.
Hey, Mick, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been awesome to hang out with you and to learn how to draw Squidge Dibley. And we did a story starter. Fangsworth was awesome. So we hope kids are going to write some short stories about that. But most importantly, great to hear about Squidge Dibley, destroys the school, destroys the galaxy, destroys everything. And we hope kids check those books out because they're awesome books. And it's been great catching up with you.
You too, Adrian. Thank you so much for having me. And guys, just keep reading out there, keep writing. And we want to hear those stories about Principal Fangsworth.
Absolutely, we do. Thanks so much, Mick. Tomorrow I've got Lucinda Gifford, which will be really exciting. But for now, that's it for today's live stream. Thank you so much, Mick, for joining us. And see you later, everyone. Bye.